Good morning, everyone. This is Ranger Rob, and welcome to the Ranger Rob Country Living channel. And it's a pretty morning out, and I'm kind of lost my voice a little bit from a situation that's come up. And so anyway, it looks like I'm going to call it a sparkling day, but today I need to explain, I guess, a little bit of a personal problem. And I don't talk that serious about personal issues, but my health threw me a bone to address, and I just got back from the hospital, and I thought I'd kind of tell a story a little bit, explain what happened, and then explain how some of this affects me on a personal and daily basis. But this morning I've got a pig ready to go, and I've got some tomatoes for her, and I have some issues about how to feed these guys. I had somebody watch my animals for my son and my grandson, so I don't know what my food supply is, but the issue I have to address is moving the food, how to get it back here, things like that. Sherry's picking up a load of feed we got to get back here too, which brings a whole new problem that we need to start addressing. And this may be issues that others are facing, but I have to do an inventory first, check and see how much food I have here, and then evaluate my plan. All right, ready for feed? There's some more food. All right, we're gonna go get our scoop of food, and then take care of the rest of the pigs. All right, guys, I got our scoop of food, and I just gotta sneak it by you. I just gotta get by you. There we go. She likes her food, and next weekend, which is only a couple days, she's gonna get moved over to a new paddock. But I need to show you one project we got done before we had an issue. Not with the pigs or anything, but John and Debbie came over with a automatic fence post pounder, and we put in 4 6-foot T-posts with their pounder in, which is really nice. And the ground's really hard this time of year, and all we're gonna do is be able to put shade cloth across to give piglets more shade, because I don't have trees in this area, just the shelters, and the more shade the better. And it's not an issue in the fall and the winter, or the spring really, but when summer comes it gets pretty toasty. So we get that done, but I thought I'd get the rest of the pigs fed, and then I'll tell you what happened. All right, guys, so got the pigs fed. My 3 back here are still sleeping. My 2 big breeders got up, they're eating. Penny's always up and eating. So anyway, and there's a reason why I'm a little tired and it's a little out of breath when I'm moving this stuff, and that's what I'm going to explain. All right, I get to do this with the sun in my eyes, but I just the part you don't see is when I sit down or move around, there's a lot of grunts going on, and that's because I just got out of surgery yesterday morning for ongoing hernia. And so I'll tell you a little bit about how long this has been going on, what happened to me over the weekend, and my current condition. And I only tell this story to kind of explain a little bit of why you might see Sherry handling heavy bags more than me, stuff like that. And then a lot of times my pride won't let her, and I'm doing it anyway. And I think I finally paid the consequences for that. So, well, maybe 5 years ago, I got a little golf ball bump on above my belly button from moving some equipment and stuff back when I lived in Arizona. And it didn't take me long to figure I had a real mild hernia above my belly button. Anyway, so this was before COVID and all that stuff. And I'll be the first one to tell you, and I'm proud of it, as I'm unvaccinated, and I'm not, and I'll die unvaccinated. And so the hospitals were getting pretty stupid, and I think they're talking about you couldn't even go to a hospital unless you're vaccinated. It was just totally insanity. So I just started getting used to wearing a belt to hold that hernia on, so it doesn't keep, so I mean, there's so many things you do when you're picking up things, moving around, coughing, sneezing, all those things can affect it. And what I was trying to do is not tear it anymore. And anyway, so I went quite a long time with just that. It got bigger a little bit, more like a ping pong size bump on your stomach, and you pretty much are just trying to hold it in for it doesn't grow and get pushed out more. And that's all I want to talk about on that part. So I've gone along pretty good over the years with that. But between peer pressure and pride and all that stuff, a lot of times I was still lifting things that I should have done differently. But last week last weekend, last week, I was just watching TV or something late at night, and I sneezed or coughed weird, and I wasn't positioned right, and I felt something tear, and I was definitely sore, and I knew I did something. And the next morning, my stomach was inflamed, and it was a really not looking good situation. But I still urged on, wore my belt. But this was something way beyond what it was just before. And I finally, I hadn't shown Sherry over that. I just told her I really need to take it easy. But it was very, very painful. Everything I did hurt. You don't realize how much you use your stomach muscles until you're working in the farm. So finally I went to urgent care. I thought that guy was going to freak out. He says, said to me, "You need to go to emergency. You don't need to be talking to me." So it's like, okay, Sherry, she's always been after me about getting this addressed. And being a cheapskate, whatever it is, we do have decent insurance. So I went to emergency, and they didn't hesitate to say, "You need surgery." So I started from Redmond, Oregon, but I ended up getting transferred to Bend. And that's exactly, so the night before the surgery, they tried to do a mild surgery with like a big team of people to push everything back in that may have come through the wall of the hernia. And that hurt. Oh my gosh, they were beating the heck out of me. But they were not successful, and I don't want to go in all the details about it. But luckily I didn't push up like a intestinal into the hole and pinch it off. That's actually life-threatening. But luckily I'm kind of chunky, so I had some fat reserves. So that's really what they're dealing with. But they couldn't push anything back in. So the next morning I had to have the actual surgery. And some of you guys might have heard that they use mesh and stuff, but it's not the most successful thing in the world. So I did not have the mesh installed due to the fact that I could lose a little weight, and two is I'm not a smoker, but I'm a vapor, and nicotine's not good for the healing process for having the mesh. But what they did is did the surgery. Actually, he ended up cutting out the fat that came through, and then pushed what they could in, and then they sutured it. So now I'm just walking around with a very sore belly, more so than normal. And also they sutured it up, and it feels a lot better, but it's very sore. And today is real sore. And but I can lift 5 to 15 pounds, so I can do the scoops all right on the food and stuff. But when I got to fill those cans of stuff, I got to use all the tools necessary for me not to have to do lifting. And my throat's sore because when they do surgery, they put one of those breathing tubes down your throat, and it takes about a day or two to get used to it and stuff. So that's my stupid story. And what did I learn out of this whole thing? Getting old sucks. 2 is address things a little earlier, and the fact that I don't have a good excuse because of I do have insurance, and good insurance through school district, but when you own a farm, you know, like now I'm worse off on the homestead because of everything I do is lifting. And then there's humiliation. I'll have, thank God, John and Debbie will come over, and John will help with all the heavy lifting and stuff. I don't know how he really comprehends how much. I don't talk a lot about it, but they do know about it because they're good friends. But you know, it's kind of humiliating not being able to pull my weight as a guy. I know that sounds stupid, but not in my world. And I am so grateful for all the help. My son has helped me out a lot, even a grandson. And you know, although this is it could have been, but it's not life-threatening or anything. It's very inconvenient. And also, I've got to change our processes here to avoid any heavy lifting, and I can do it. And Sherry's working with me, and at the same time, yes, we're going to start looking at losing weight again programs. Sherry and I know how to do that. We're really good about eating good, but sometimes we go off the loose end. The other thing is I got to quit vaping, and I'm going to do that gradually. I do very little vaping, and I only do like a 3% percentage of a'nicotine and stuff. So it's very easy for me not to vape because I don't have a really bad addiction to nicotine. But I'll get off of that because I can get the mesh surgery, and I'll still have trouble with this. It's not gone away completely. But I can get that surgery, but I've got to improve my healing health before I could do that mesh for that mesh integration that they put in to help strengthen the wall of your diaphragm. Has to have the best chance to integrate with your body. Otherwise, it'll reject it, and you just got a big problem. This may be my life, the rest of my life, but I could have worse things, right? So anyway, there's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And let's get back to happy homestead stories. Well, anyway, guys, I did my rounds, checked in the greenhouse. Everything's in great shape. My son really covered me well when I was gone, and apparently he's starting to enjoy it a little bit because he goes, that pig that's called Penny, she's my favorite. I go, I gotta admit, that's a pretty cool pig. Anyway, so everything's going good. Like I said, I'm a little tired. I just was in surgery yesterday, but we're functioning. And that's enough of my story. And we'll get back onto normal subjects. But it does, people that get into this stuff, you know, depending on your health and situation, make sure you have the tools to do it. If you have stipulations, make sure you have a tractor or riding lawnmower that you can tow things with, stuff, and go on with life. And it doesn't mean you can't do it. You just got to make sure that you look at your limitations. And we've talked about that a lot in this show, and I haven't really revealed the reason I have the limitations I do, but they're not limiting as they are using smart processes. So anyway, guys, please take the time to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world. We'd appreciate it. And over the next few days, I hope I heal up a little better so I can be a little more functional, so I don't dump all the work on Sherry. But I also want to take the time to say thank you to John and Debbie for their support. Of course, my wife and my son and grandson. They're all fantastic through this because it was very unexpected. So anyway, have a great day, everybody. Bye now. This video is made possible by RangerRob Poopy Bags, available on Amazon right now. Thank you very much for watching our video. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world. Thanks.